And away we go.
Okay, so I just finished watching The Player by Robert Altman. He's the director, with Tim Robbins in it and a bunch of other people. So basically, Tim Robbins is this movie executive guy in this Hollywood time. I think it's late 80s is the time period. I know it came out in the 92, but I think it takes place either late 70s or 80s or something. I don't know. Not an expert.
I'm just doing this for fun, stupid.
So Tim Robbins, movie executive, and Hollywood's going crazy, and he gets this letter from this writer that he rejected, and it's kind of like threatening, and he's worried, so he goes to meet this writer who he thinks is the writer, but it's actually a different writer, and he ends up killing him. And the whole plot line kind of revolves around that. I don't want to get into the later stuff because that stuff is where it really starts to connect and really work well together. So, the movie itself really shows this crazy Hollywood time. Everybody's running around. They open up with like on the studio. There's a movie recording. There's a ton of people running around, cars driving everywhere. It really shows the craziness of Hollywood and all the people doing their thing. And it like shows how they all have a different part to play in it, and it's really great. And then also, meanwhile, while you're watching this Hollywood crazy stuff and you're kind of being in Hollywood, you're also thrown into this kind of detective story with Tim Robbins killing the man who he thinks is the guy who's going to kill him. And there's this whole detective story with Whoopi Goldberg, who's really awesome, and how Tim Robbins is like dealing with the stress of Hollywood and the stress of this case, and he's kind of losing his mind with it. And amidst this, he's in a loving relationship, and then he leaves her for someone else, and a ton of stuff happens. And then he kind of falls in love with the other woman that he's seeing, the artist, who was the girlfriend of the guy he killed. So that gets complicated and stuff. And what's really great about this movie is how everything kind of works together. It's very sporadic and chaotic, but it all works and into one solid like formula. Even though it's so crazy, you wouldn't think that it's comprehensible, but it is. Now, some parts that I really like about this movie is that they work in some Hollywood actors as just kind of like normal characters, and even though they're such big actors, they just kind of treat them as little guys, and they play the actors that they are, or the personality that they are, but kind of just on the side, and they're just kind of there, and it even immerses you more into this Hollywood aspect. You kind of just feel like you're there, and you're just chilling with like Cher, and the parts with these Hollywood actors and these Hollywood parts kind of distract you from this detective case that's going on that is kind of hindering Tim Robbins' whole existence, or his character's existence. Overall, I think it's great how the stories weave together in the end. I don't want to spoil it because that is really like the peak point of the movie, is that ending. It connects everything all together, and it's a solid, happy ending, I'd say. But you still are kind of left on edge. Even though it's a satisfying ending, you still have that part of you that's like kind of hanging over the edge. Overall, I think it's a great movie, and I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. I think it's great. It really captures what it set out to do, and it's 2 hours. It's not too long. It keeps moving. I wasn't bored. Solid movie. It's on HBO Max. That's where I watched it. That's where I'm watching a lot of movies right now because they've got a lot on there. Thank you for watching. I think there are a few people who watch this. I don't think a lot of them, or any of them, watched till the end, but if you did, thanks. Bye.